People think I got rid of the 240. She's still here. This side of the garage still works. This one is pretty hit or miss. Like, chances are it won't open right now. Yeah, see, something's not right. Unfortunately, I don't get to hit you guys with the garage door ASMR today, but if we pull this thing down, we now have manual. Oh, look, that's still pretty good. That gets the eardrums flowing. I think a lot of people thought because the 240 wasn't in the shop anymore that I sold it or got rid of it or whatever, but no, it just lives. It lives up here in the house now with Taylor's car. We got a little project on the 240 today that I should have done a really long time ago. I've kind of just been putting it off, I think mainly because I'm nervous. The only thing is that we are gonna have to get it into the shop. We were able to squeeze the truck past the A-frame rail, past the ledge over there, because we were kind of able to ride up on the wall a little bit there. We are not gonna be able to wall ride the 240, so we're gonna try to squeeze her on through here. I think we're fine, actually. I think the difference is the 240 is so much smaller than the truck. I can literally just drive right past it. I'm definitely like, I'm not wall riding, but we're taking her off-roading today. We're fine. Look at that. We made it past here perfectly. We made it right to where we need to be. I mean, I guess I feel like a problem with me, one of the many problems with me, is that I'm a very like all or nothing type of person, which really isn't how like the real life works. Like in my head, I'm like, there's either gonna be cars in here or it's gonna be a full-on fab shop. There's no in between. And I think realistically there is gonna be an in between, because like I am gonna need to pull cars in here to work on them every now and then, so that's what we're gonna do. Still, I mean, I'm still figuring out my whole life, bro. I don't know what I'm doing yet. We're all still trying to figure this out. But I do know that we're gonna get some work done on the 240 today. That's for sure. Da-da, 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 da-da. Ta-da! All right, let's pull her in. Crazy, my foot must have slipped or something. I find the need to throw a little disclaimer in here, kind of similar to how I do with the welding or fabrication content. Similar to the welding and fabrication world, when it comes to car stuff, I know nothing, bro. I'm like a baby deer that's learning how to walk. I don't want people watching these videos to like think that I know what I'm talking about or that I know what I'm doing. I'm clueless, bro. I'm just documenting my learning journey. Just like the welding content, the CNC stuff, like all the metal work, my knowledge is very, very limited, but like I want to learn. Hence the sort of like documenting everything, but that means I'm documenting everything, like my cluelessness to hopefully where I'd like to be eventually, where I actually know what I'm doing. So yeah, the 240 is really not a staple in the content, although I'd like it to be. So I mean, just super quick backstory, just so kind of everyone's on the same page in case you don't tune into all the videos or whatever. Dude, I want to say it was 5 years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago, I got the 1JZ S13, because I've always loved S chassis ever since I was a kid. Like the whole drifting culture, video games, like I've always loved it. Call me a pussy or whatever, but I was too intimidated to actually get into it in real life. And then 4 or 5 years ago or whatever, I finally like dove in kind of head first and got that 1J S13. That was a whole nightmare, a big old can of worms that I opened that we've moved past that. Then we got this bad boy, which when we got it, it was a bone stock, essentially like mint condition 1996 240SX. In my opinion, it is a beautiful, beautiful car. The goal with it, and I've learned that this pisses some people off, and I've always tried to justify myself, but I think at the end of the day, I don't need to. This is just what I'm doing. The reason that I wanted a stock S14, which is hard to find. I think that's why it pisses people off. I got a lot of comments of like, dude, you don't deserve this car. You should have got like a piece of shit beater 240 and left the clean one to the collector, which is like, I get it, bro. But at the same time, it's like, dude, it's a car. I'm gonna use it as a car, and I paid for it. I'm gonna do what I want with it. The reason that I wanted to go with a bone stock 240 is that so I could literally treat this as my platform to learn everything from totally basic routine maintenance things that I just never learned how to do as a kid, like oil changes, tensioning belts, like shit like that, just like super basic, you know, upgrades, whatever you want to call them, putting a new seat in, seat brackets, steering wheel hub, like all that stuff, to, you know, slightly more advanced stuff, like we put a two-way LSD in there, I did the exhaust. Let's pop the hood here. Look at that interior though. uncracked dash, baby. She is clean. As you can see, we still have the stock KA in here. This might sound dumb to some people, because when I was shopping for the car, obviously there's a ton of SR swap 240s, RB swap 240s, like there's a ton of swap 240s out there. And I really wanted like an untouched, unmodified stock 240. So, again, I'm going from zero mechanical knowledge. Like I was an idiot. I am still, sort of. But I wanted something untouched so I could Google, like, how do I change this? How do I do? Like, I drove a Tesla, bro. I didn't know shit about engines. If you follow my car page, like over the last year and a half that we've had this car, I've been documenting my journey from zero knowledge to kind of working my way up. One of the bigger projects that I did, and again, it was kind of like overkill and stupid, but I needed it because I wanted to learn. I fully pulled the engine, I yanked it out, I redid all the main seals, and then I just plopped it back in. I really just pulled the engine to put it back in so I could just familiarize myself with what the hell I'm doing. That's sort of what I mean, where it's like I wanted this untouched gem of a car, so it's like if it's gonna turn into a clap drift car, I want to be the one to clap it out. You know what I mean? That's half a joke though. I would like to keep it clean, but I am gonna learn, and I want this to be the car that I learn everything on. Sorry, that was an unnecessarily long kind of introduction to what's going on here, but I have a habit of like over-explaining and apparently over-defending my actions, but my bad. So, today's project, and I think part of the reason that I've been procrastinating today's project is it's not like cool or fun, or it's not like adding anything sick, it's just preventing problems, and I'm kind of scared because I gotta chop my car into pieces. Not actually, but what we are doing today, dude, I think one of the trippy things I've noticed about like a car like that, like a untouched car, or unmodified, I guess, nothing has been touched in like 20 or 30 years. It feels like it's these screws' first time coming out since it was put together in the factory. Our goal today is pretty simple. It's a wire tuck. If you know what a wire tuck is, you know what a wire tuck is. If you don't, I'm gonna teach you. Essentially, since we lowered the car and we removed the fender liners, I'll just show you. Come here. With the wheel off, you can see that we are starting to get some rubbing on that black tubing, whatever you want to call it. And as you can see, that is full of very important wires. This has also been rubbing, and that's for my hood latch, isn't it? Because that's starting to rub all the way through too. Because we added the coilovers and lowered the car, the top of the tire is rubbing on this stuff now, and if it rubs through this, very bad things happen. That's the wire that we're going to be tucking in this wire tuck. We have to get this fender off, which I thought was going to be really easy, but there seems to be some bolts I can't find. Got this one off, got this one off, got this one off. I got this one off that separates it from the bumper. This one was a pain to get off, but we got that one off. It looks like there's two down here that I gotta get off. This is so overkill, but I'm going through and just labeling everything. Because again, like my goal is to like familiarize myself with the car, not just get the job done. So it's like when I pulled the engine, I labeled even the most simple things, radiator hoses. I've gone through and just labeled everything so I keep track of everything, so I learn everything. This is basic shit to so many people, but like for me, I don't know, man. I just want to learn. Okay, what is holding us on? It feels like there's another one in there. And then I'm afraid we're gonna have to take the bumper off, or like the lights or something, because it feels like there's something in there grabbing. Whipping out the extendo today, because I found the one that was hiding back there. There we go. Oh, yum. Look at that. Here we go, though. We got it. So that frees up it's some, dude, I think I have to take the bumper off. They really just don't make this easy, huh? I'm sort of just like unscrewing stuff and seeing if it makes sense. Every now and then I'll Google something, and Google's essentially, because Google never lies, everything on the internet's true. So I have like a rough guide, but I do like at least kind of trying to figure it out myself. Lights gotta come off. Once the lights are off, I should be able to get the bumper off. Once the bumper's off, I should be able to get the fender off. That makes sense. Supposedly, this is just sort of supposed to pop out. Huh, would you look at that? It popped out. Yeah, lights. More lights. Why is only one? But this one's unplugged. Have I just not had lights? No, I for sure have lights, bro. Now would be a really good time to clean these because they're all like yellowing and nasty, but one project at a time. Now with our lights off, that opened up all of these, which we can start unbolting. And here's the part of the video where I just fabricate myself a bash bar instead of put the bumper back on. Just kidding. I got my bumper. Pretty much a mechanic at this point. Now we can see what was holding this on. So we have this that was covered. All this contraption is sort of held together. So we're gonna have to undo that and then we're good to go. Definitely not as easy as I thought. I thought it was gonna just be like, pull that off, cut, we're good. I mean, it's still easy. It's super straightforward, but a little more like I had to take apart more than I thought. I think this might be the last piece. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. I got it. We're free, baby. Wow, that was a convoluted process to get here. Okay, so now that we're here, I can explain kind of what's going on and what we have to do. In caveman terms, which is pretty much all I can understand as of now, car lower equals tire taller. Tire taller equals rubs on this. Rubs on this equals bad, right? That's the gist of it. So we essentially have to find a way to lift this harness up and tuck it up over here so we're not gonna be rubbing it when the wheel's on. I got this fully loose, right? This is essentially what we want to put up as high as we possibly can. And I watched a bunch of YouTube videos, and there's different ways to do it depending on how high it needs to be. We're not completely slammed, and I don't plan on going lower than I already am. You can see we've been rubbing though, and I'm really lucky actually that we haven't rubbed through the wiring yet. Just this, just what holds it. We're rubbing in the middle. That's usually where that is, and a lot of people will rub here after they tuck it up. So what I've seen is like the most common one is to just tuck it up essentially over this lip because we don't have much movement. It's pretty tight. That protects this, and this is where we've been rubbing because that's normally right here. So that puts that up high enough. We have to go through and cut a little notch into that little area right there. That's kind of what I was saying. Like if I were slammed, that would be my new rubbing point, but I haven't rubbed there. And again, I don't plan on going lower. So like I think that'll be fine. Otherwise, you gotta start cutting up higher into that, which I kind of want to, or not even kind of, I want to avoid that. I want to keep cutting up my car to a minimum. So I think that's gonna be the route that I take. I don't quite know what to do about this yet, but we'll figure that out later. I marked about where I want to notch that out because I mean you can see the goal here. If that little tab that we marked was not there anymore, I could really just push that up there, which is where we'd want it to be. God, just like I don't know, dude. Call me a little weenie, but it feels so wrong to cut my car. I'll admit, like people were telling me to get just a beater 240. I'm like, I'd feel so much more comfortable chopping up a car that's already been chopped up. But this is what I wanted. I wanted to learn. I wanted to be the one to clap my car, so I'm clapping it. No, we're gonna do this right. It's just, I mean, it's a vehicle, man. We gotta learn. All right, baby. The mad scientist goggles are going in. Or on. They're going on. I'm going in to my car. All right, well, let's get to cutting. It's like, this is such a minor thing for so many people, but to me it just feels crazy. I went through with the grinder and cut a bunch of slits into it, and I'm gonna see if I can go over the rest of it with the Dremel, just to like shave all of those off. I can use the angle grinder if I need to. I just thought this might be a little bit more clean and precise. I just don't know if this little thing's strong enough. Yeah, it's doing it. It just might take a while. There we go. Let's crank it up. Oh, there we go. Well, we lost the blade, but we're getting there. Let me go put another one on. All right, new little blade. Let's finish this off. Look at that. We actually did it. Got the little sander thing. I just want to go through and clean it all up. And then I do want to go over it with primer just to make sure we don't get any rust. I want to get rid of any like sharp edges or like bird corners, you know what I mean? All right, there's our little slot. And then before primering it and kind of putting everything back together, let's make sure it works. We should just be able to tuck this up. Look at that. That's pretty good. See how it fits perfectly in that notch. I'm content with that. I think I'm gonna chop that corner off just so it's not just a big jagged corner stabbing into that, but I mean, that's pretty minor. Probably won't even change anything. Just why not, I guess. There, I just want to smooth it out a little bit. Primer again, I'm just gonna go over anything that we cut just so there's no exposed metal. Beautiful, there we go. All right, we're pretty much done. I got it all zip tied up there. You can see it fits in that groove super nicely. And then the that cable that goes to the hood latch, I also zip tied that up. So the wheel well looks pretty open. I think we're good. You can see where we were eating through. Again, that used to be inside here. So the fact that we lifted it up, we should be chill. I don't think we're gonna rub here because we're not low enough, but I guess we'll find out. I drilled a couple holes for those zip ties, so I made sure to prime those, but I mean, I think that is a success. The only part that I'm not super confident about is now putting it all back together, because taking it apart is one thing, but I guess we are just going to reverse everything that we did, and let's get this all back together. In theory, we should just be like reversing everything we did, right? I don't know why I have a feeling that's easier said than done. We're getting the bumper back on. I really don't want to over tighten these, so I'm just going over them super light. Our fender's back on too. Now I just gotta connect the bumper to the fender. There we go. I found out why this wasn't plugged in, because it doesn't fit into that bulb for whatever reason. So at some point, if I want those lights, I need to get new bulbs, but I have headlights, so that's all that matters. So then we line that up, and it's coming together. All we have left are the lights, so I mean, fingers crossed, I think we got this. Then the little grill thing, and then we're all back together. The final step, push the little push pins in, and dude, I think that's it. Well, I mean, I gotta put the wheels back on, but I think that's it. Fender's on, bumper's on, lights are on. You can see we are tucked. You can no longer see the harness there. All right, I'm gonna go through and actually torque them down, but there's one. Okay, that one only has 4. That stud's messed up, but that's fine. I will take this. And let's slowly lower her down. There we go. I know I've said it a couple times through this video already. There we go. Obviously, it's like such a small job in the grand scheme of things, but I had been putting this off for so long, and I hadn't been driving the 240 because I didn't want to shred through the harness. I had just been intimidated by it, because I mean, I don't know, it's an intimidating job for someone that doesn't really know what they're doing. But we got it done, and I'm stoked on, or I guess we haven't checked yet, but I mean, I'm 99% sure we'll be fine now. So we'll get all these torqued down, and then go for a little drive, make sure everything's good. I think a good first step is to see if we can back out of the garage without all of our wheels falling off somehow. She still starts, which is good. Like, all I did was take off the bumper and the fenders, and somehow my car doesn't start, imagine. Oh, whoops. I was joking about how like, oh, let's see if we can make it out of the driveway. Or the garage, that's a good first step. I'm putting in reverse and nothing's happening. I forgot that we put these back there. Okay, now that should make our lives easier. There we go, look, we're moving. That's a good start. There she is, all put back together. Everything looks good, at least as far as my eyes can see it. I mean, you probably can't see anything in there, but before, that's where we were rubbing, and like there's no chance of rubbing now. I'm gonna keep an eye on that area, but I mean, we were only rubbing up there, and now there's no chance. So I'll monitor that just to be safe. But I think now, at least until a new problem arises, we can pat ourselves on the back and call this a mission success. Let's take it for a little drive. It's been a while. Look at that, baby. We are clean as can be. Oh yeah, we don't have any tree sap. Clean the R33 wheels too. We're looking good. All right, let's go for a drive. Figured we'd drive up into the mountains a little bit and kind of just explore. It really has been a while. Like I'll drive this car like at least once a week to like go get coffee or just to, you know, get the fluids flowing and all that. So it gets driven at least once a week, but I haven't like driven it in a long time because of that harness rubbing issue. I really didn't want to chop through my harness, and I just been procrastinating that for so long. I also have no idea how well you guys can hear me because the exhaust I have drones a fair amount, so it might be all you you can hear. I'm trying to like talk loud even though I'm just talking to a camera stuck to my windshield. I don't really know where I'm going. This sort of all goes hand in hand. I don't even want to say with the content, but I guess like that's what you guys know is the content. But like my life direction lately has just sort of shifted over the past year-ish of me really wanting to learn new skills, and that's kind of where welding and fabrication and all that came in. I've sort of just been like experimenting with stuff and seeing what passions I actually have, like all content aside, what I actually enjoy doing. One of the biggest things with this car is like I didn't want to take it to a shop and have them build it, although it would come out proper. My whole, I don't know, philosophy behind it was like I wanted to do it and I wanted to like, make mistakes and learn. Just same thing with welding. It's like, yeah, I could get all this done professionally, but that's not the fun of it for me. It's been fun documenting everything and learning everything, and I do want to get back into content with this car, but just be back into this car. There hasn't really been any track days because of the heat. It's like 110, 120 degrees Fahrenheit during the summer at the track. But now that we're coming into winter, there's going to be more events, more track days and stuff that I really want to start going to more frequently. Just get some more seat time in, practice drifting and doing all that, because I had so much fun at that one event we went to. I'm kind of like deep in the mountains and these roads are really sick. Oh, I miss this car. It's not even like fast. It has the stock KA from 1996. I've done nothing to it. It's not boosted or anything, but it's just fun. It's just like, no, I love it, man. Eventually, people always ask me like what my plans are for the car. I want to learn how to actually drive, like properly learn how to drift and everything, and get my skills dialed with a stock KA, like with the car as is. But as I progress and as I grow kind of up with the car, I'm debating between, you know, just a boosted KA build and kind of going that route, or just SR swapping it. But that's all stuff to figure out later. Okay, where am I and where do I go? Let's just go left. Sure, why not? Oh, I love this thing. I think it would be so sick to have like enough land to have an actual like Adam LZ, right? He has like a compound, like a private track where he can learn to drift, or not even learn, he knows how to drift obviously. But just like what I have for skating, but for cars and drifting. Obviously that's not the route that like my life is or is going to go realistically, but a guy can dream. I don't even like going fast, I just like getting to the speed limit fast. Just, I don't know. I'm not used to, I don't drive stick anymore, so it feels fun to drive stick and just cruise these little mountain roads. It's a whole lot different than the truck, let me tell you. I don't know how to do it, but I really want to get like a POV shot, like where you can see my hands and my steering wheel and all that. Like maybe suction cup to the sunroof or something. Also, okay, where am I? I need to turn around soon. I want to take these corners like kind of aggressive, because that's when we would rub, is when we're taking corners and the, you know, the suspensioning and be on a right turns like that. Trying to get it to rub. Okay, now I need to see if I can figure out how to get home from here. Okay, we did indeed make it home. So, again, it's gonna be really hard for you guys to see. We have no rubbing whatsoever, no signs of rubbing. Now that, ladies and gentlemen, is what you call a success. I'm actually super stoked on that. I've been putting that off for so long, and I'm glad we finally got it done, and I have the 240 fully dailyable again. Thanks for following along on that journey. Hopefully you guys learned something, or at least got some entertainment out of it. Yeah, pretty sure that's all I got. Catch you guys next video. Peace out.